Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing some practices with you to help improve visualization. So I recommend doing this in a room that you're very familiar with. Perhaps your bedroom is probably the best room to use. So you want to take in the entire room physically. Obviously this is before you've closed your eyes and begun visualizing, so walk around the room and take in the room as much as you possibly can using every sense. So you want to take it in visually, pay attention to all the intricacies, as many details as you can, the colours, the textures, everything that you can visually take in, okay? And kind of capture a mental image of this as clearly as you can. You want to take in the smells, the sounds, and the feelings. You can also walk around and physically feel things and try to capture like an image of all of these things, okay? Like memorize them, memorize the feeling as best as you can, the smells and the visuals, okay? And then you want to take a seat, or you can do it standing if you'd like to. And you want to replay this scene as accurately as you can, okay? And if you want, you can just do all of the senses at once, or I would recommend you go through each. So probably start with visuals, so try to remember as accurately as possible what everything looked like, all the little shadows, the intricacies, the colours, the little details and everything. Try to recapture it as accurately as possible, and then you can move on to the sounds. Try to remember each sound as clearly as you can, then smells, and then feelings, okay? And so then you can, if you'd like to, you can keep opening your eyes and repeating the process. So it's like you're practicing building an accurate visualization, and you're using something that's physically in front of you to help you measure and practice getting it as accurate as possible. So then when you begin doing your visualizations to manifest things, of course, when you're doing a visualization to manifest something, this will be something that you don't have physically in front of you, that you can open your eyes and take a mental image of, and then close your eyes and kind of recreate what you've just seen, right? So it's something your mind has to create from scratch. That's why it's better to practice rather than just doing your visualizations to manifest things, because of course, like I said, that's something your mind will have to make from scratch. When we do these visualization practices, you're using a physical object to help you practice. You can keep opening your eyes and recapturing the scene to help you get it as accurately as possible. And this literally works that area of your brain. It's like a muscle. You're literally exercising it. So the more you use a physical object to practice with, the stronger this area of your brain becomes, and the easier it will then be to visualize and create images that you don't actually have in front of you, that you can first take a mental image of, okay? So it will make your other visualizations a lot easier and more vivid and realistic. So like I said, you can repeat this process as many times as you like. You can sit or stand in your bedroom or any room that you choose, or even any environment. You can do this outside if you'd like to. And but obviously it's probably best not to do it with like a huge environment, like a whole forest or something. But you can repeat this process as many times as you'd like to. You can sit on your bed, you can open your eyes, take everything in, close your eyes, try to imagine it as clearly as possible, open your eyes like 10 seconds later to recapture it again. And it's like the more you do this, the more you're kind of training your brain to be able to create images that are, you know, the same as what you've just seen. You're training your brain to be able to build images very clearly, okay? So then when you move on to visualizing things you've not seen before, and it's something you're building from scratch, as it will be if you're trying to manifest something. It's like if you're trying to manifest a particular job, so you're say it's like an office job or whatever, and you're trying to visualize yourself in this office. You've never seen that office before. So your mind is having to build these images from scratch, okay? So when we practice using physical objects, when it then comes to building images from scratch, your brain is going to find it a lot easier because you've been working that muscle. You can also do this with one small object if you like to, even something that you can carry around with you if you're someone who wants to do this practice, you know, a few times throughout the day. If you're somebody who is really wanting to improve their visualization, you can take like a small object. It could be like this, for example. So it's very detailed and it's small. So you could take something like that around with you and, you know, study it for a second, look at all the intricacies, close your eyes, try to recreate that image as best as you can. Then you can open your eyes, study it again, kind of take mental note of what you didn't do accurately, and then try again. And it's like the more you do this, the more your brain is going to become skilled at creating images, okay? So this is a really good thing to do also if you want to do this when you're out and about and you have a minute, like you're on a train or something. Another thing I wanted to mention is that something I've noticed from speaking to different people is that some people struggle with one sense and not the others. So you may be an incredibly visual person, so you find it easy to imagine visuals and create visuals, but you struggle with feeling. So because a visualization, of course, visual is in the name, but a visualization means all of the senses being involved, okay? So, and obviously we really need this if we're trying to manifest something, because we want it to be as real as possible. So when we have all of our senses engaged, our subconscious mind accepts it more as real, okay? So it's good to pay attention to if you're struggling with certain senses, because if you're somebody who's really good with visuals, you find that easy, but you struggle with feelings, like imagining what something physically feels like, you can do a session where you just focus on this sense if you'd like to. I recommend doing all of them together, but also if you are struggling with one sense, you can do a visualization where you just focus on that one. So that's just something I've noticed from speaking to people. You may be fine with all senses, but it's just something that may help you if you are feeling kind of stuck, like your visualizations are kind of good, but you can't hear anything, or you can't feel anything, or you can't smell anything, and you want it to be kind of more wholesome and involving all of the senses, okay? Another thing people tell me that they struggle with is mind wandering when they are visualizing or meditating. Now, my advice for anybody who's struggling with this, so many people say they try to visualize and their mind just wanders, and they're like, that means I've left the state, right? That means that I've left the state of consciousness I need to be in, and this is not accurate, okay? Now, the thing that makes you leave a relaxed state when you are visualizing or meditating is actually your reaction to your mind wandering, not your mind wandering. Ironically, when our minds wander, it's often because we are very relaxed, okay? It's like often the more relaxed you get, the more you forget your surroundings, the more your mind will wander. That's generally the moment when your mind wanders, when you become very relaxed and therefore you have less control. Okay, so if your mind is wandering, it probably means you are actually in the state, but you then bring yourself out of the state and you kind of wake yourself up from that level of consciousness by overreacting to the fact that your mind has wandered. Because from speaking to people, I've seen that people, when their mind wanders, they're like, oh my god, I've buggered it, it's ruined, I'm not in the state anymore, I need to begin again. You will never complete a visualization or a meditation if you do this. You just need to, when you notice your mind wandering, just gently bring it back. Don't react to it. Don't think that you've buggered it up. Just gently bring your mind back. Mind wandering is always going to happen. You just need to understand that it's not that that's bringing you out of your state of relaxation and deeper consciousness. It's your reaction to it, okay? So just gently bring your mind back and continue, and do that as many times as you need to. So yeah, for anybody who wants to improve visualization for manifesting or whatever, doing this daily will help you to kind of build that muscle, because it really is like a muscle. The more you use it, the more natural and skilled it becomes. So by using physical objects to train our brain to create images, it becomes a lot easier for your brain to be able to create images from scratch without any aid, okay? So doing this daily will really help you. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.